What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. So today we will be doing an install that is one of the most popular installs on the Tundra, the TRD rear sway bar. So we're just setting up and then we're going to get started. But let's just look at some of the stuff we're going to be putting on today. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't normally install items on cars and you're worried about it because you think you'll mess up, this is really a good place to start. Let me move these instructions for a second, which we will talk about in a minute. But overall, it's a very simple layout. Sway bar, end links, U-bolts, and the joints to put it on. There's not even a lot of hardware. A little bit of grease for inside here so the bar slips in nicely. It's a very simple install. It's a good one to get started on. I give TRD a lot of credit because the instructions they give you are pretty detailed. It tells you everything you need right here. If you want to pause the video, there's a good shot right there of everything you'll need, everything that comes in the bag. Pretty much absolutely everything. It even tells you the sequence of application if you have other things like the hitch, the dual exhaust, then the sway bar. So that's the order it tells you to put it in. And then you go in and you actually have step-by-step instructions on how to put it in with pictures, which is really good. So what you're going to see today, you're going to see me install this, and I'll kind of talk along the way. Like I said, very simple install. Take you through it as step-by-step as possible. But like I said, this is something anybody can do. So right now I'm awaiting Rich from BeeLineApparel to come help me put this on. He's actually helped me with my other two. This will be our third. But before he gets here, I want to talk about one thing with you. We are in the back wheel well. The first step in this installation process is taking off these bed bolts for the end links. Little bit of a pain. We're going to be using an air gun. So, I mean, if you have a big breaker bar, you could probably get it, no problem. But even with an air gun, it takes us a little while to get that off. I'm sure our air gun doesn't have enough torque, and our air compressor it's only a 6-gallon, so it runs out of air real quick, but you'll see. Maybe we won't struggle with this one, but the other two took about 10 minutes each side. So one more thing before we get started. For safety, my driveway kind of slants downward toward the road, so I put the e-brake on and I face the truck outward. So that way if something goes wrong and the truck starts to roll, it'll roll away from us because we will be back here behind the tires. So always make sure you take every safety precaution possible before you work under a vehicle. And even if it's an easy one-person job, it's always good to have a second person with you just in case. Now, if you're new to the Tundra, or if you're considering buying a Tundra, the TRD rear sway bar is definitely something you want to look into. What it does for the truck is it definitely helps with body roll. Okay, so that's one of the issues we always speak of, body roll in this truck. It really tightens it down, really helps it in the turns. It's definitely something to look into if you're thinking Tundra. So, might want to get one right away. You could have the factory put it in before you even take delivery on the truck. It's about $250 to $300. If you already have a Tundra and you're just learning about this, you could always go to TRD.com. I think it's TRDUSA.com. You can buy it on SparksParts.com. Use my promo code TundraDude34. Save yourself 5%. They have plenty in stock. Most annoying sound in the world. And it's so small, it runs out of air so quick that it's pretty much on the whole time. Get a bigger air compressor. Yes! Woo. Okay, so 37 attempts later, finally got the bolts off. What a pain. We sprayed some WD-40 type stuff to loosen them up, but the air wrench still struggled a bit. So I think a big breaker bar, lifting it up in the air, taking the tires off maybe would work quicker, but we finally got them off, so we will move to step 2 now, 1 hour later. Step 2 is putting the end links on. Pretty easy. You get this big bolt, it's called M14, and then you put a washer on this side, a washer on this side, and then this big round thing. The way it's going to look when it goes on, this is actually the right side. It's going to look like this. It sticks out of the hole we just took the bolt out of. So we just air wrenched the end link in. It's not tight or anything, it's just in there for now because we're gonna have to tighten the bar below, but on both sides it is in. Okay, now we're under the truck at the other part of the end link, and we brought our bolts down and our washer, and we are beginning to connect the actual sway bar to both sides. And now we will move on to the next step, which is lightly tightening this for now. We will go back and tighten everything at the end. Okay, so here's the big U-bolt. This is on the driver's side. You got to make sure it's to the outside of the brake bracket, as seen here. On the other side, which we didn't put in yet, it's going to be to the inside, which I will show you in a second. So this is the passenger side. That little clip there, you're going to go to the inside of it. Just be careful when you do this of the wiring that's around. You don't want to damage anything, especially when it has to do with your brakes. All right, so in the package you get a little bit of lube you're going to put inside the, what are they called? Bushings? Bushings. They're going to go inside the bushings so the sway bar slides in no problem. So here's the next few steps. We put the U-bolts and the joint on the bottom of the axle through, and then this part comes up through the bottom that holds the actual sway bar onto the axle. Very self-explanatory, and then you screw it in. We didn't tighten them up. Just got to tighten these up on both sides, which we will do right now, and voila. Like I said, the instructions tell you everything you need to do. So U-bolt over the axle, the connector at the bottom, then you put this part on the bottom of that, which holds the bar up, and you're done. Just got to tighten everything down now. So this is the finished product from under the truck right now. Just make sure before you finish up, you go back and you tighten the bolts here, and you tighten the end link bolts and the bolts that are on the upper end link into the truck side. But other than that, it's a very simple installation. Just make sure you tighten everything down. So that's what the finished product looks like from behind the truck. So I get this question a lot from people who install the sway bar themselves. They always have leftover washers. So do I. I have 4. These are the bed bolts, the ones that were in there in the side of the bed. Make sure you keep these. If you ever want to take the sway bar back off, you're going to need to put these back in. And these are the instructions. Make sure you hold on to these too. The instructions tell you absolutely everything you need to know about putting this on. It was very simple. Pretty much exactly what we just said. It's not many things you have to do, but just follow the instructions along. You should have no problem. All right, so we just finished up the TRD sway bar install. Being this is my 3rd one, this one we kind of flew right through, but you know, it wasn't a step-by-step instruction kind of thing for you guys, but I'm telling you, the instructions will show you the way, but it was pretty much as easy as it looked on this video. You attach the end links, then you attach the bar, and then you attach everything to the axle, and it's pretty much a done deal. Nothing much more than that, really. So tell me what you think. Tomorrow we're going to do the first drive impressions video. I will not be touching this truck until the first drive impression video. I'm going to take the FRS to work. So tomorrow you will be seeing the first drive impression, and we will talk about it, of course. So comment below the video if you have any questions about the bar or anything. And remember, if you get this bar at Sparks Parts and save yourself 5% by using Tundra TRD 34 promo code. I thank you guys for watching. Twitter and Instagram at Tundra TRD 34. You have a good one.